Okay, with Abigail Espinal, Mantel is the short script, winning script, Wild Sound Festival. Great screenplay, great idea. Conservative dad decides whether to honor his daughter's final wish, being buried with her lesbian lover. Lots going on in this 13-page script. I hope gets made into a film. I don't say that often, but I really hope this script gets made into a film. Any plans for that?
I'm really hoping for it. After my next film, we're applying for some grants, me and a few production companies that I partner with in order to hopefully make it a reality.
So you said you were before we talked. You said you're still in school right now.
I am, yes.
What are you
I'm on
doing?
my final semester.
And what's your major?
I'm a double major in film and television and theater studies with a minor in queer studies.
Wow, okay, so you're busy.
Yeah.
Have you made a film previously?
Yes, many.
Okay.
One of them just won the Wild Sound Under 5 Minute Film Festival, Queer Study.
Oh, that was you. Okay, so I didn't
Yes,
see the connection. Okay. Oh,
and
that's
RuPaul. I
amazing. Yeah.
actually, funnily enough, I didn't know Mantle won something or was nominated. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we send you the winning thing. Yeah, yeah, we it's one. It's the winning short script. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that until right now. I guess I didn't see that in my email. That's so funny. When you started mentioning it, I was like, did I did I click the wrong link?
Yeah. Well, it's great. I think it must be doing well. Are you sending I'm assuming you send to other festivals. It must be doing well.
Mantle, yes, is doing very well.
Yeah.
And Queer Study, both of them.
Yeah. Oh, career study too. So then, okay, so we can just double this interview then. It's
Awesome,
pretty
yeah.
funny that you did like so let's talk about Mantle. What was the motivation for you writing this script? Because obviously it's very intense. It seems personal, but you're still alive, so I'm curious about the inspiration for writing it.
Um, it was actually a class assignment for my intermediate screenwriting class. Basically, we just had to write a script, maximum 12 pages. Obviously, the script is no longer just 12 pages. I think it's like 15.
Yeah.
Um, and I wanted to challenge myself to write something not comedic. I'm usually a comedy writer, so I really wanted to do like a hard-hitting drama. And I went to bed and had a dream of what's it called? Of just uh two women falling in love, and at the end of the dream they got into a fatal car accident and died, which is a horrible dream. But the next day I was like, oh my god, that's so sad. I can write that into a movie. um but as I was like starting to write it, I actually started caring less about their plight, and I was more so like artistically curious. So obviously, I'm going to care about their whole story.
Yeah.
I was more artistically curious about the reactions of others, and then I landed on the father, and I just started building from there. Like, oh my god, wait, what if he was conservative, and what
Yeah.
if it was the South, and they were white, and like, oh my goodness, and just putting the building the blocks from there. It was a very different story originally.
Well, that's great though. It's a great because you saw the landscape of the vision that you had for this world, and you kind of like, okay, so who can I focus the camera on, so to speak, right? And then you start to
Exactly.
focus the camera on the arguably the worst worst I'm like kidding when I'm saying that, but the worst person in the landscape, the dad, the old school conservative dad, who basically, that's how people change in life though. They change.
Yep.
You don't change by having an ideological shift by basically one day waking up and going, oh, I like trans people now, right? It's usually a personal situation that occurs for them, and then they have to make a choice. Like it's usually through love, in many ways, right? And that's what
Exactly.
it's about.
For me personally, like my personal connection to the piece, it started really taking off once I made it the dad.
Yeah,
Um, at first it was going to be like the family, and then it was going to be there was a draft where it was actually it was a lesbian couple who had a kid, and the kid was ashamed of them, and then the parents died, and now the kid was like, "What now?" That was another one, but that one was just really depressing.
yeah.
Uh, once it did land on the dad, I was able to draw from my own personal experience because my parents are extremely supportive now, but like at the beginning, there was some pushback, and my dad was just like not for it until
Yeah.
um, he started seeing me like in my element and educating himself, and then he was all for it, and he's wonderful. And I just thought
That's
I
amazing.
could put that and just and draw on that whole
Yeah.
experience.
Obviously I don't know your dad, but I'm assuming that
He's great.
I'm no, but I'm assuming the initial emotion was fear of like he wants you to
Mhm.
be happy.
Exactly.
You're scared that making this choice would make you have you not a happy life, I guess.
hmm that's actually something I give people a lot of grace when when I first came out to them, or like when talking about the trans experience, or even the queer experience, just because I think that some people are a little too quick to villainize someone once they're like, "Oh, you don't support me? Okay, this is why." But like,
Yeah.
why don't they? And how can we educate them to understand the other side? Just because a lot of it is from fear. And my dad's fear was, as a father, he was like, "Am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to have kids? Am I going to be able to live the life that I want to lead with a family when I grow up?" Um, and that fear, I guess, in my view, is just love. Like that's a subset of love.
Yeah.
The fact that he was that fearful for me for making this change, because if he didn't love me, he wouldn't say anything
Yeah.
and he wouldn't feel afraid.
Well,
So
he's
that's
not trying to control you. He's just trying to like,
exactly,
yeah. He wants you to have
yeah,
a happy life, right?
precisely.
And
That's exactly how
his
yeah.
prism of what of how he was raised and how he grew up and
hmm
what he's experienced in his life. That's how the conclusion he came up with initially, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
So if only everybody in the world can have that point of view that you have, right? So
I
yeah,
know. Uh, I agree.
we are in a reaction kind of era. Like yeah,
Yes. I do think that a lot of the times, and it has to do with a lot of my other scripts. Mantle is one of, I think I just hit 41 recently, which is cool. Uh,
just short scripts or like I or
Shorts, features, and full length plays. Because I also write feature films and plays. Uh, and I a lot of the time I enjoy not only putting in like my own perspectives into the work, but also to put that viewpoint and having characters just kind of like sit for a second and actually like think about what the other person is saying. I think understanding is like the 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 key thing that I think we need to emphasize more when on basically everything,
yeah.
not just these issues, all issues.
And then the arc of your script is that the dad has to unfortunately do it after his daughter passes, right? So he's got to yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he needs a hug.
Sorry.
He needs a hug very very badly.
Yeah, he needs well,
Thankfully, he
a lot of people do, I guess, right?
yes,
Yeah, or he needs a good
he
cry
has his
as
wife
well,
there, so it's
right?
all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're planning you're gonna get some funding, but you're planning on shooting that as well?
Yes, I would really like to actually make that movie because I have a very clear vision on how it would look visually and everything. Since I also work on the director of photography side of production, so I know how I want it to like visually look.
Okay, so you're young. Let's just say that you're in your early 20s.
I'm
You're still
21.
okay, you're 21. You're still in school. Uh, and you said you've written a mini script. So when did you kind of start? When did this whole creative process start for you?
Um, it's a very ridiculous story that a lot of people like have a hard time believing just because, but it is true. My parents can attest to it, so can my friends. I used to do it all the time in school. Um, when I was 3, I didn't start writing when I was 3. So when I was 3, I saw my first movie, which was Raiders of the Lost Ark, which really should not have been my first movie because it's very violent. but I fell in love with filmmaking immediately, and I wanted to be an actor. Um, However, I didn't start actually acting until seventh grade. And then I got into an acting high school and I study it now, and now I'm a professional actor, and that's really fun. But with writing, I realized when I was young that there weren't a lot of stories about like me and about people like me. So I wanted to write them myself. And I realized that all the way back in the second grade. So I started when I was seven writing really, really really awful picture books that were huge copyright infringement traps. Uh, and it was it was a lot of fun. And then I started actually writing a book, and it was oh my god! I think the end goal, like the end page count, was 900 pages. It was um, we sent it to the editor. The editor checked it. It was going into the publishing phase, which is crazy. At I was 14 at the time, um, and I took it away. I stopped the publishing phase and everything because I didn't like it. I reread it and I actually really hated the book, and I'm still rewriting it even now. But I realized then, with all of that, that like I really, really love writing, evidently, from writing 900 pages. So I was like, well, I have to do more. I can't just stop at this one thing that I don't even like. I want to write even more. So then I wrote my first feature screenplay, and then I wrote another feature, and then I just started going. So I would say, to answer your question in the most long-winded way possible, because I guess that's just how I do it. Um, I would say I started like actually writing for real at 14. Um, I won the statewide theater project short play festival with an original comedy piece, and since then I've just been flying writing all the time. I love writing.
And then when did you start getting into like film and like kind of like moving pictures?
um, it was I always knew I wanted to like I wrote all these movies, and un, I'm not neurotic, but I'm very I know what I want the films to look like. So I was always like, maybe I'll do that whole writer director thing.
Yeah.
So I made a short film when I was during quarantine, as everyone did. Uh, I made two actually, one of which I don't think is anywhere. I didn't put it anywhere because I was so embarrassed by it.
Sure.
Although, like looking at it now, now that I'm like older, I'm like it wasn't that bad actually. But the other one, Untamed Thoughts, I made it, and it was so much fun to edit, especially that I was like, oh my god, I have to do film. So um, I knew when I came to Montclair I was probably going to double major. Uh, I originally came here for the musical theater BFA, but I didn't show up to the auditions because I wasn't confident that they would want someone with like my voice type since I have a pretty deep voice. Uh, so instead, I just decided to go straight for film, and I got in. And I started making movies, and I haven't stopped. My first like main movie that I ever made won a couple festivals, and I was really, really happy about it. And then I immediately got set on making the next one, and I think I have about six under my belt,
Yeah.
four of which I'm proud of. There are two of them that I'm like, oh, we could just forget about those. Uh,
But those are good
but
odds. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I really do love it, and I've been honored to work on a million other people's sets. I have another one this week. I'm the assistant director for this short film in New York. Um, so yeah, and I still get the acting gigs all the time because that's my other job.
And that's so then you're like you said, you're 21 and you're just kind of starting things out. Do you like, I'm assuming you want to make a feature film soon.
I would love to. I don't know if I'd be like the director. I could be like a co-director or something. I would be I feel like too nervous, but Um,
Get over that.
I know I have to get over
Everybody's
that.
got
Uh,
imposter syndrome, like even the greats, right? Yeah, you just got to.
exactly. I would when it comes to actual production, I do prefer the acting side or the behind the camera side. But end all be all, yes, I would like to direct a feature film. I have a lot that I've written, a lot that have won a lot of awards, so there's definitely interest with them. It's just a matter of money. So I'll be going after that next.
All right, so let's talk about Queer Study. I remember the movie very well. So it's two people in a room having a conversation. It's very funny, but it's very serious at the same time. You kind of found that tone, which is not easy to do. And so, and I looked at how old you were when when I watched the film. I'm like, wow, she's nailing tone at a very young age. So congratulations on that.
Thank
For
you.
someone who sees a lot of films, right? And then you also acted in it too. So you're directing and
Yep.
act. You're in every scene, right?
Yes.
So
I
how
also
is
did the camera. I also
Okay,
did
so how do you
the
do that? How do you pull that off? How do you direct and then act at the same time? Are you watching the monitor? You doing a take and then watching the monitor? Are you trusting somebody to say that let's move on to the next scene? Like, what's your process?
so for me it is doing a few takes and then watching the monitor just because I come from a theater background.
Yeah.
So because of my theater background, I'm very like, and I also wrote it, so I knew the lines very well, and I knew how things would cut together. So I was very conscious of my movements of like, oh, the next shot is this because there there are multiple ways of like doing the cinematography for a movie. You'll either just like go for all the coverage, your basic coverage, medium, close up, everything. I prefer. I think that's a really good way if you don't have anything else planned, but it can be a waste of time. So for my films, I actually create a shot list of only the shots that I know I want. So I know exactly how the movie will cut together in the editing room. So even when I'm editing, I literally just look at the shot list and I can just order it like that. So when I'm acting, if there's a shot where I have to make a certain movement for the transition, I'll make that movement like consciously knowing the shot list and the script and also my character. So it's fun.
So
I wouldn't suggest it though.
you multitask basically.
Yes, and that shoot was it was very very fun. I did really enjoy it, but it was only four of us in
Yeah.
one room, my bedroom, and it was only one day that we
Yeah.
shot the whole thing. Yeah,
You got it though. It's doing well on the festival circuit, right? Like you must be.
yeah. It just did its 10th, which is I
Yeah.
never would have expected that ever.
But it's funny because when you make films, you remind me, I remember doing a bunch of films, like back when I was older than you, but like in succession, some were good, some did well, but you don't know, right? You don't like, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's the small ones that you do that kind of just resonate with
Exactly.
with the crowd, right?
Yeah, when I was reading the feedback, I was like, "Really? Wow, I didn't even think about this. I love that."
Oh, the
And yeah,
audience
the
feedback video. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, everything I the feedback was brilliant and I guess I'm surprised at myself. I'm not surprised at the amazing my amazing crew, Lance and the co-actress Brooke. They're amazing. I've worked with them a
Yeah.
lot. Uh, and hilariously enough, the only other person on set was the sound mixer who just held the boom. And it was my mother. Uh,
Oh,
and
wow. Okay. Oh,
she's
same
never
last
done
name,
film in her
okay.
life.
Sheila, right?
Uh, yep, she's never done film. She has an IMDb page only because of my movies.
That's great.
She doesn't know how to use a sound mixer, so we had to set it up for her before every take, and then she would just hold the boom. But she was very excited, and I mean, she's my mom. Of course, I'm gonna love working with her on set.
Well, let me ask you this:
Uh,
Did you use the dialogue from, or did you ADR it, or did you use the dialogue from from the set?
Directly from set. She
Okay.
did an amazing
So she did
job.
a good job then. Yeah, yeah.
She did a fantastic job for not knowing it. It was wonderful. You know, everyone did very very well. It was funny on set during the part where I do have to well the intimacy part where I have to kiss my friend Brooke and she has to hit me into into the thing. It was my mom's least favorite thing to record because she said the sound of me hitting the
Yeah.
headboard was so visceral, and she didn't like seeing it. So she kept having to turn away just because Brooke and I have done a lot of theater together, and when we do theater, she and I kind of just we've done stage combat together, but at the end of the day, there's nothing to really keep keep the wooden headboard from being a wooden headboard.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
it was just like 8 takes of me just getting hit over and over again, and I can imagine not fun for my mom.
Gotcha. But you have to
Yeah,
serve the story, Mom. You got to do what you got to do, right?
exactly. But it all turned out really well. And you know that water bottle with the ice actually served me quite well afterwards. So because we kind of filmed in order.
And you're the director and producer, so you basically nobody can complain, right? That yeah.
Well, I my
You
biggest
bring a
thing on
stunt
sets.
double in, right, to do the scene, right? So
Exactly. My biggest thing on sets is like safety. I'm really big with actor safety. I mean, when it's me, it's like whatever. I was trained in physical comedy. I know how to safely get hurt. Um, but like for other people, whether it's like action scenes, intimacy scenes, like emotionally intense scenes, when I'm directing, and even when I'm writing, I'm very aware of how difficult something is going to be for an actor. So sometimes, like even if it's a small part, I'll write it, and when I'm casting it, I'll cast a friend of mine who's an actress who really knows how to do it safely. I'll either cast myself, which I don't like because if I'm behind the camera, I want to be behind the camera, or I'll hire. Well, I mean, I'll hire them regardless, but like especially if it's an intimacy scene, wonderful intimacy coordinators that I know. Davi comes to mind. She is an incredible intimacy coordinator, and she's like really good at what she does. So yeah, safety is really important.
so do you like editing your films?
Yes, I actually do like editing my films a lot. I never thought I would. um, I'm not I'm not an amazing editor. I usually just do the assembly edit, and then I send it to not Queer Study, but my newer films about Last Night, Let's Be Honest, and the upcoming one. She's already slated to work on it. My friend Gwen does the coloring and the sound, and then from there we send it to another one of my friends, Heidi, who composes directly on that. This is the only project so far that none of them have been involved in, just because Queer Study was not a film assignment
Yeah.
or something that I did for film. It was actually an assignment for queer studies, my like queer study class, like minor. Um, for our final project, she said it had to be creative and we could do whatever we want, but it had to be about one of the topics we discussed. So I decided to do flagging or, referencing someone's appearance to find out how they identify, which is a dangerous, oftentimes, hurtful
Yeah.
way of going about it.
But you did it in a
Um,
comedic way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, creative? I want to make a movie. Done. And so we just did that in one day, and it was a lot. Like I'm pleasantly surprised it is doing as well as it is because it was like literally never going to
Yeah.
be made if not for that assignment.
Because it resonates. It resonates with people, and it has a like I said, it's funny, but it also has a universal. You're dipping into the double edge of of emotion, meaning that we're laughing, but at the same time, there's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot if you when you sit back and go, yeah, there's a lot going on in that scene, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot going on, right? So it's like because yeah, it's intrusive, but you kind of like I don't know, it's like it's sort of like you want the best for your friend or whatever like that, but then you're kind of giving unsolicited advice or you're trying to force a conversation, right? So
exactly.
which is tough. You don't really it's not really your place to do that, I guess, right? But
Exactly.
yeah,
And almost everything that Brooke was wearing, hilariously, again, is mine.
yeah,
So that says a lot about me. So just to do the flagging stuff. She was like, "Oh, your earrings look really queer," and I was like, "Thanks.
So
I
you have
guess
a
we'll
team
use them."
then, basically. Do you have like a sound designer, do you have like a team? Because you're going to be a director. That seems to be your thing. You're going to with your destiny. Are you assembling your team of collaborators?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I have Gwen Azuzano is amazing. We got Kayleen Montero, incredible assistant camera and sound mixer. Heidi Carranza, Sita Sila, um, Davi, as I said. Jeff Harvey's an incredible producer. Um, I'm like trying to rapid fire everyone's names
Yeah.
that I can remember.
It's a quick answer. Yes, you do have a good
Yeah,
team.
Des Santos, Diego Colon, um, Emmy Oliver. I know I have a excellent an excellent list of people that I can kind of call at any moment who are all spectacular filmmakers and do an excellent job every single time. Like they will never disappoint. Uh, you can take like literally any of the people I just said, put them on a film set, and they will like rock it.
That's great. And this is people you met in school.
Yes, for the most part, people I met in school. There's also Rebecca Graber. I met her in high school. We've been friends for like 8 years. She's like my sister, and um, she is an amazing intimacy coordinator, actress, and writer. So she does everything like possible, and it's just it's great.
Great. All right. Well, it seems like obviously you're on your way, and you're destined for some great things coming up.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and then your mom's. Maybe you gotta get your dad a part of the film as well. You gotta get your dad in a position.
He was the mixer for a different film, and he had a lot
Okay,
of fun
okay,
too.
there you go. Yeah, I would say you can give him a PA. You do have him the production assistant.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to
Get
have him on
coffee,
board.
right? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Fantastic experience, and yeah, the script's great. It really is. It's a really solid script. So,
Thank you so much.
but let me know when it gets made, or I'd love to see what else you do. So let's keep in
Oh,
touch.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.